kick off, I just want to remind everyone we are in a church. So respect the rules of the house, and just keep your language and your temperaments to a good standing conservative. All right, well, this is the Bible Canada event. This is our third year hosting, and the whole purpose of this was because when I joined the Conservative Party, I realized one thing that was different from the other parties. We weren't getting any visibility. Nobody wanted to do interviews with us. Nobody wanted to hold events for us. Any forums, any debates, nothing. So I decided, you know what? Let's take it into our hand, into our power, and let's do that. So I wanted to give candidates a place to be able to be seen and to be heard. Now, I don't want to take this moment to speak too much because that's not what we're here for. We're here to hear the candidates. We're here to hear their platforms and let them know what they're doing for the community right now. Well, I will ask you one thing. I ask you that when these candidates come up here, you give them a roar of applause. You show them what it means, what they should be receiving in the community that they're not getting, because we need that. We need that motivation. It's not easy. We just spent the last couple months killing ourselves, spending money so we can get signatures and we can tell people why we deserve to be where we are today when it's so horrible out there. And it baffles my mind we have to do all these things. So once again, candidates come up here, when these individuals come and speak, clap for them, cheer for them, show them, and let's give them a reason and a memory to want to continue the hard couple months that we have ahead of us. So thank you. I'll leave off at that. And the first speaker today is someone that I met a couple years ago. He walked into my office and he said, "I want to get work done." I was like, "Okay, when you want to start?" And then he was like, "I'll start tomorrow." I was like, "Why'd you come here today? Let's go to work today." Uh, that man, I'm happy to say that I was able to convert him into the Conservative Party, and then now he's branched off to many things. You guys know him very well for all the work that he's doing. Our first speaker is Christopher Reed, chairman of the New York Young Republicans Bronx Caucus. That was a good applause, but you deserve a little better. How's everybody doing? Good? Very right. All right, so before I begin, I want to thank Gonzalo Duran, not just for putting this event together, but for being the type of leader who doesn't wait for the establishment's permission. And that's very rare today. I have no idea how rare that is. So let's give Gonzalo a round. Gonzalo doesn't ask permission. And sometimes that gets him in a little bit of trouble, but that's okay because what he does do is he builds up the people around him and makes events like this possible. So thank you again, Gonzalo. I appreciate it. And to the candidates in this room, thank you for being here. Far too many people running for office or are already in office think that they're too important to drag themselves to places like the South Bronx. They'll post a nice photo, maybe shake a hand or two, and then vanish. No follow-up, no presence, no real skin in the game. But you all showed up because you know that this fight is real, and because you understand that if we're going to change anything in this city, it's going to be in neighborhoods just like this one. Not just cocktail fundraisers in Midtown, right? So you don't think of yourselves as candidates. You don't think of yourselves as above the Bronx. And because of that, the Bronx welcomes you and the Bronx supports you. Please. Now, let me begin the only way I know how. I hate politicians. I hate their fake smiles, their weak handshakes. I hate how they take credit for things they didn't do while they hide from the messes that they create. I hate how quick they are to fold under pressure and how fast they sell us out just for a seat at the table. But the truth is, it's not exactly the politicians that I hate, or anyone should hate, frankly. It's the machine that animates them.
It's the system that raises cowards and silences fighters. The one that rewards obedience over vision and punishes anyone who refuses to kiss the ring. But tonight, we're not here to kiss the ring. We're here to tell them when they can kiss us. Because tonight we're not. Because tonight we're not surrounded by puppets in this room. And I know many of the candidates here, some personally. And these aren't career climbers or backroom dealers. They're fighters. They're workers. And they do the thankless boots to the ground work that no one else wants to touch. These are men and women who refuse to be controlled by the old guard, and they have the scars to prove it. In fact, if you bear with me for just a moment, candidates, if you could all just stand up for just a moment. Just one moment, just write that down. Ladies and gentlemen, I want you to take a look at the people standing up right now. Do not be mistaken into believing that you're only looking at the future of Republican and conservative leadership. You are looking at the people who are going to reclaim the city from the old guard and bring back the greatness that once made us the envy of the world. These are the builders of a new era. Like Elijah Diaz right there. How you doing there? These are the builders of a new era. And if you remember that on election day, we're going to have our city back. Thank you all very much.
All right, so now you can see why I always ask them to speak up first, right? If you're going to be speaking and you want the people to hear, you have to be close to the mic, and you can move it as well, okay? Our next speaker is someone who's a familiar face to us. Now, normally, when we do this, we ask the featured speakers to change up. We don't want the same people every time. Not that they don't deserve it, but you want to change the pace here and there. I hate going to every a different event. You see the same people talking every single time. We have a lot of candidates. Trust me. It's 51 city council seats, and there's almost a candidate for almost each one. Today, our first featured speaker is Jason Murillo. Now, Jason was here last year. The reason I asked him to speak this year was because he's done something that hasn't been done in over 3 cycles. Not only did he get the conservative line in Lower Manhattan, which is a stronghold for the liberal, liberals. There is the most liberal part of the nation to be questioned, honestly. But he also got it for the Republican Party. Now he did that. Right? And his team wasn't that big, but they had a big part, and he got it done. So for him to get that done, and he's almost halfway towards matching funds, it's an incredible accomplishment that he's going to be getting for this year. And the information and the work that he's put in this year tells us what's going to happen in the lower part of Manhattan next year. So up next, Jason Murillo. And he's running for City Council District 2 in Manhattan.
Hey, good afternoon, everybody. Thank you for coming out today and supporting this great event for viable candidates to represent us in the upcoming 2025 election. My fellow New Yorkers, my name is Jason Murillo, and I stand here with a heavy heart for our city, yet burning with hope for what we could become. I'm running for City Council in District 2, not as a politician, but as a native son of the Lower East Side, East Village. I was raised in night-share housing, where I learned the dreams, fears, and resilience of our communities. I'm one of you, and I'm fighting for every New Yorker who feels forgotten, pushed aside by the radical left, Democrats, and corrupt career politicians who let our city spirit fade. I ask that you all look into your hearts. Think of the New York we love. From the bodegas where neighbors laugh, the parks where our kids play, the streets where dreams are born. That New York is slipping away. Radical policies have turned our homes and streets into a place where families fear for safety, where small businesses are lifeblood, shudder under crushing taxes like congestion pricing,
Right.
and where affordable housing feels like a distant hope. Worst of all, either two career politicians like Harvey Epstein, a bad SNL skit, Sarah Bachu, a convicted sex offender, pedophile, Anthony Weiner, a man who has betrayed our trust by preying on our most vulnerable, our children. They think they can lead us. My heart breaks at their arrogance, but it also beats stronger with a resolve for us to fight back. I'm here on behalf of the Conservative and Republican Party to reignite that fire for our city's soul. I dream of a New York where every family feels safe, where every child has a future, and where every voice matters. My plan comes from the heart. It's simple: to end sanctuary city status, to protect our communities, and honor those who play by the rules. Repeal Catherine bail to keep criminals off our streets. Pass Priscilla's law to shield our loved ones from reckless, dangerous bikes. Scrap congestion pricing to lift the burden from our workers and small businesses. And to fight with every ounce of my soul to save affordable and NYCHA housing. For our seniors, our veterans, all minorities and families, because no New Yorker should feel left behind. This isn't about politics for me. It's personal. That's the only reason why I'm in this race. I am a small business owner, a lifelong community advocate, and a neighbor who has wept for our city's struggles and cheered for its triumphs. Unlike my opponents, I am not owned or paid for by special interests or stained by corruption. Or any convictions for child abuse against our children. I'm here for the single mother working 2 jobs, the veteran seeking respect, the elder fearing eviction, and the kid dreaming big. On November 4th, 2025, we could choose hope over despair, unity over division, and love for our city over betrayal. So I ask everyone here to join me and District 2. Let's hold hands and rebuild a New York where every heart finds a home, where our streets sing with safety and opportunity, where our children inherit a city as great as our dreams. Vote for me, Jason Morello, and together we'll make our city shine bright again. And with my fellow common sense colleagues here, such as Gary Lux, Gonzalo Duran, Helen Q, Tyreek Goodman, Curtis Lewa, who will be here in a little while, and everyone else here. Together, united, if we all fight and stand together, We will make New York City great again. Thank you. I am Jason Morello, the conservative Republican voice for real change in District 2. Thank you. November 4th, 2025. And for more information to support my campaign, go to my website, jasonmorello for NYC.com. That's Jason, Murillo for NYC.com. And also have my palm cards here as well. All right. Let's go. Let's make New York City great again. 2025.
Look, I'm just glad he didn't throw a chair or something like that last time.
Yeah, I went for the debate.
The debate tonight. So next up is one of the local heroes out here, James Washington Ward. And the last election, he graciously gave up his seat so that another candidate could run. This year he came out and he said, "I'm running no matter what." And I'm glad he took him because I didn't want to fight him this time. So next up, James Washington Ward. He's running for City Council District 12. 12. Give a round of applause.
Good evening, everyone. How are you?
Good.
Hope you guys can hear me. I can hear myself when I use the feedback. Where do I start? Being born and raised in the Bronx, I did my time on the streets like any young Bronx guy. Dabbled and dabbled here and there, found my way into college. Came back home from college after being in Pennsylvania for about 10 to 15 years. Raising a family, realized the streets are still the street. Politicians got worse, and my city has gotten dirty. So I did what I did. You know, what most people do, they go back to their roots. I grew up in Sea Cadet Corps, for Sergeant Sea Cadets. So I went back and became a mentor. At first, I figured if I can reach the youth first, then I might have a chance to get to the future. That was going very well, and then I met Gonzalo. Opened my own photography business, doing pictures for Gonzalo. And then I was like, what else can be done? Because I wasn't satisfied. I see Gonzalo around busting his hump. He's introduced me to plenty of people, and they're busting their humps, but nothing's getting done. And like Chris, I do hate politics. All right. I think about politics, there's probably being many, it be a little annoying people break the deal. Hey, put that together, we got politics right there. Not a good thing. But I had to change, so I figure we all have to change. My slogan going forward is change starts with us. And as I explain to everybody, when I say change starts with us, as small as walking by something on the floor, picking it up to clean your city, that's how change starts. Because we can walk down 42nd Street and watch another New Yorker throw a tissue or a hot dog wrap on the floor and be okay with it. We'll step over it, we'll walk right by it. But the moment the tourist does it, they will walk up in arms. How dare you come to my city, make my city dirty, but yet 5 steps ago, those are dirty. Which is the same thing I tell you. A lot of youth growing up, public housing, you gotta take pride in where you live at. You know, it's an embarrassment that the people that work in their building can't break your grass because people want to throw things out the window. Like you don't have a garbage can, garbage chute, anything like that. That's embarrassing. It's embarrassing for me to escort female home and there's 15 people all standing in front of the door, smoking, drinking, and carrying on. That's embarrassing. You know? I can see it in her face. Stop. Don't worry about it. We're supposed to turn around and say, it's New York. And I tell the youth, we can't keep treating that as a norm. We have to. We have to police ourselves. And that's where we start with the change starts with us. Once we start policing ourselves, then we can expect everybody else to police themselves. What you stand for is what you stand for. Your boundaries is your boundaries. Some of my best friends have unstoppable boundaries. For them dark liquor, they won't drink it. That's their boundaries. You know what? I respect that friend more than the friend that I know doesn't drink dark liquor and I'm for to drink and they'll drink it anyway. Because now I know you can. But if you stand up for something you can't be bought by, that's who we need. I tell people I played semi-professional football. I played arena football. I've had a ton of money, and I blown it all. I can walk into anywhere. Money doesn't move me. My community moves me. I started a nonprofit called Bronx, which is acts of random kindness. Acts of random charity and kindness, which we go around, and it's a resource. We help people in need because that's what moves me. That's what gets me up in the morning to see my daughter go in. Here, go get something to eat. To another little child. And then I go, yo, how much money you got in your pocket? That's what moves me. Because when you're able to give your ends to the next person, then you're doing something right. So me running is because I want to change New York. From the way we treat our veterans who sacrifice God knows what, to the way we treat our elderly who are about 5 steps out the door. A lot of us don't think about that. It's kind of messed up, but I want. I didn't think about it until earlier this year when I started taking care of my 75-year-old mother. Started I'm running to the doctor, and I'm running to her bills. I'm running to this. I'm like, why get Medicaid? Don't get Medicare. This insurance does this. This insurance does this. And I'm like, what is this? She's been here for 75 years. Poured into the system for 75 years. And she has to jump through hoops every 3 seconds. That's why. Because she can't be up here fighting the fight. This is where all of us come together. Yes. I don't care who you are, black, white, Democrat, Republican. We all come together because we have to fight a good fight, not just any fight. And I'm gonna close with this. There's one thing that I love. If I ever seen the stage play Hamilton, the one thing I love the most is I want to be enough. No more back deals. Step to me correct, sit me down, put me in the room, and if it doesn't sound right for my community, you better come back to that drawing table because I'm not going. My name's Jim Flush Ward. Thank you.
Once again, James is a little bit too humble sometimes. The small committee that comes together to pick who are the future candidates. One of the main reason why James was elevated to that position was because a lot of the resources that majority of the candidates are receiving, not just in the Bronx but in other boroughs, is headshot. And one of the basic tools that we need as candidates is new headshots when we're running. We need it for our flyers, we need it for promotional stuff, and give that at no charge or at very little cost throughout the year, the last years. Also providing mental health awareness for sessions for the people that are running. Recently, he hosted with Bishop Denise Smith a candidate blessing for candidates running. So with services like that, once again, his humbleness is missing in his speech. Our next speaker, when you watch a boxing movie, and the old guy's like, oh, this young guy's coming out of nowhere, and he has all these new innovative things that he's doing, and everybody's like, oh, no, he's not gonna win, he's not gonna win it, and then he comes out and win it. That's Elijah Diaz right there. So let's give him a round of applause.
Good evening, everybody. Good. Hello? Gonzalo. No?
Yes, you just have to.
Yeah, I'm here.
Maybe hit the button.
That's all.
You could make the volume a lot.
So I hear some talk of the youth tonight. Well, I am the youth. I am 22 years old. And I am the Republican conservative candidate for District 45 City Council. The beautiful thing about this is that we're seeing a new generation of leaders coming in and fighting for what's right, fighting the good fight, along with normal people like everybody sitting here in this room. And it's beautiful because I've seen a lot of indoctrination and kids my age, kids even younger than myself. And it's going in a direction where we're not going to be able to sustain and be New Yorkers for very much longer. That's why I'm here, to change the dynamic, to find love for the Republican Party in New York City, to change the status quo, where someone like myself, a young Puerto Rican kid from Brooklyn, New York, Central Flatbush, someone who doesn't deserve, quote unquote, to be in this position unless they're a Democrat. I'm changing that dynamic as well. During my time running, it's been about 4 months now, I've faced my fair share of adversity. They have challenged me 3 or 4 times in Brooklyn, Kings County Supreme Court to try to get me off the ballot. And we won all 3 times against the Democratic machine that tried to take out a young candidate that's running. But even beyond that, speaking beyond youth, I'm a threat to what they want to continue on with, which is keeping kids young and dumb, keeping kids uneducated, keeping people ignorant. And we're not going to allow that to happen. You see, a lot of my constituents are coming out now. You're seeing, wow, 22, 25, 26, 30 years old. I've come into this game where I'm 22 years old and I'm dominating in an arena with people that are double, almost triple my age, yet they're still running in office. Why is that? To keep the money going, to keep the influence alive in the Democratic Party, the party that is not for us at all. And that's why you see everybody in this room. I don't believe that 10 years ago you would have seen this diverse room in this city in the Bronx, New York, coming together with the Republican Conservative Party. We would have seen that 10 years ago, but now you do. And that's a beautiful representation of myself, of my campaign, and of each and every one of you in New York. I'm very proud to stand here before you guys. I'm very proud to run in Brooklyn, New York, my hometown, and the place where I live, I have lived all my life, and that I most likely will die. And the beautiful part in all of this is that we've come together in this room, in this very stage right now, from the youth to the wise, all under this Republican Party. And I want to thank each and every one of you for being here tonight and for giving your attention, for giving your wisdom, for giving that integral part of your day and of your life to each and every other person in this room. So again, my name is Elijah Diaz. I am the Republican conservative candidate for District 45 City Council, and I would hope that you will go out there and vote in November for your Republican conservative candidates. Even if you can't vote for me, you can vote for the party. You can help your local candidate. And you can help us take back this city from the oppressors that continue to oppress, and they will never change. God bless you all. God bless America, and God bless the state of New York.
There's just one thing that we forgot to mention, because I was hoping to do it in the speech, but they were so scared of him. Not only did they attack him in his petitions, they took him to the Supreme Court, and when they couldn't knock him off there, they took him to the appellate court. They did not try to stop, because they're scared. And in an area where the incumbent Democrat has a 96% percentage, what are you scared of? You don't want competition, really? You know? The last guest for our featured speaker, I don't, when I do my work, everybody always says, Gonzalo, you put diversity or all this stuff. I'm like, no, I didn't bring diversity. And diversity is there. We're in New York City, we're in the Bronx, we're in Brooklyn, Manhattan. That's the way it is. So I want to make it very clear, the next person that's speaking, she's not being asked to speak as a featured speaker because she's a woman. Already, no, she was chosen because not only has she repeatedly received matching funds, but she's repeatedly run for office. And she's done it while showing that you can do it as a mother and as a person who's a Republican trying to make a difference in the community. Our next speaker is Helen Chu, and she's running for city council. Helen?
Hello, everyone. I'm Helen Chu. I'm running for city council in Lower Manhattan, south of Houston. So I'm very happy and feel very honored. Very much. So about five years ago, my neighbors told me from Niger told me in Grand Houses in near Columbia area. Does anybody know Grand Houses? Yeah. Okay, wonderful. Yeah, wonderful. Yes, near Columbia University, Grand Houses is a very famous Niger complex, and they told me that they are going to convert the neighborhood garden into a parking lot. And then I say, oh, that's Arlington. Why would they do that? So I talked to Lucy, who is in charge of the garden, and I make a very beautiful video and submit it to the community board, community board now. At that time, they already sent people, the city already sent people to measure the lots. Because they are already making plans, and going through community board approval was just a formality. Yes, that's related knows about this formality. So it will not change the outcome. They will make it into parking lot because they already sent people to do measure. And Lucy was crying almost and saying, Helen, I'm a pastor. So she said, after Helen, they already sent people today to measure the lot. So we make a beautiful video to show them how beautiful the garden is and how much it helps the young people after school. They can come over, help out a little bit, something to do. And I saw someone grab some vegetables, etc. So we sent that 3-minute video to the community board. After that video, the entire community board was silent and nobody can hear one word. And then they all vote against changing it into parking lot. And we kept the NYCHA guy. And I want to highlight that, not because I love my NYCHA families, but I want to let you know that a legitimate minority voice can be powerful. I have worked as a minority voice for a long time. Sometimes I'm the majority voice, but sometimes I'm the minority voice. But when I think that is the right thing to do, and I always find that God will provide a way for me to make my voice effective. So that was one example. The entire community board and the city has already aligned to convert the NYCHA housing area into a parking lot, but we stopped it. So they always have chance to do that, even if you are a conservative candidate or a Republican candidate. There are chance that our candidacy will be by the voters. And I'm very honored to come here today because Bronx is one of the most glaring victorious area and district in our entire state that only you have elected Republican candidates. And that is an honor and you. And I'm very honored to be here. And I love what your leaders are saying. And I hope I already learned a lot from you, and I hope that we will work closely together and we will be able to bring our city to a better place. Even our voice might not be that loud, people protesting on the street, but there are always ways that we can make a difference, maybe even by a less than 3-minute video. And another occasion, we have COVID restrictions. But if everybody remember the passport, the key to NYC, always say that is the hell for NYC, not the key to NYC. And that shut down almost many small businesses, especially small mom and pop stores that rely upon the traffic, the walking traffic to maintain their business. And also hurt a lot of families. They cannot send their children to play. And I was able to ask Chancellor Banks, at that time he was the chancellor, a question, how he would help the children who are vaccinated. And then in the public meeting, the public town hall meeting, he was able to answer that he would talk to the mayor. So he promised me. I was the vice president of Communication Council at the time. So I asked that question, and then he said he will go back to the city, to the mayor, Eric Adams, to see if Eric Adams has any solid plans. And during that, within 10 days, Eric Adams lifted the restrictions for children and young teens when they're in the in high school for them to attend the graduation. And very soon after that, the entire city is lifted. So I think there's always a way. Thank you. So I'm not the deputy mayor, but there are ways that God created for us to make a difference. And I believe that I will make a difference in our city, our voters' lives. Even though I am not the majority, I am a Republican and conservative candidate. I'm not going to be the majority, even I'm elected, right? But I think I will have ways because God will help me to actually make difference, not just hoping to make difference, because I have a track record of doing that. And I hope you will see that particular quality in me and hopefully give me some support. Give me across the district support, across the borough support. My district is very challenging, but it's also very promising. I have about 19% of Hispanic voters in my district, which is one of my weaknesses and one of my opponent's strengths. The current incumbent strength, he is Hispanic, he can speak Spanish. I don't speak Spanish, unfortunately. I have been learning. I've been learning Spanish. Yo hablo español. So I have a record of over 200 days on Duolingo to learn Spanish. I'm optimistic because I'm very happy to learn. They are very beautiful language and very expressive and many ways to say how I love you. So I love that language. And I want to tell my Hispanic voters, I actually think they align with my value way more than Black voters. But they don't know. So I need help to outreach to them. And if some of you feel that you may be interested, it's not that far of a train ride. A 2 train will get you there within 45 minutes. So I hope you will join my campaign. And I am very touched to be here today to listen to James. Did I say your name correct?
Yeah.
Okay, to listen to James' speech. And there are several James in my district. And maybe you can help me to outreach to them. But I'm coming here. I know Chris mentioned that a lot of people may not come here because this is a little bit further away from where they live. Difficult to travel. Yes, it is true. But I'm very honored to come here. And I also want to bring you a small gift, James. I want to make a donation to your charity so that you can be more empowered. And then, I also want to let you know, I was able to help raise $500 for the little garden that they have. It doesn't sound like a lot of money, but at the time, 5, 6 years ago, it can help them to fill like several vegetable beds because the soil may not be very healthy, so we need to fill vegetable beds on the wooden plate. So they were so happy about that, and they have never received such a big generous donation. So I hope to help the good causes among us, and we spend $10 billion. So that's one that has 10 zeros following it. You may lose count if you count that much money on illegals, and that includes their housing, their medical, and their education. And our own children do not have a music class, do not have a science after class, do not have internship opportunities. Yet the illegals will get a personal tutor because they don't speak English. So that has already happened. So we cannot let that continue because we need to bring the attention back to our own children and back to our own elderly out of care. So I hope all these will resonate with you, that you find me to be your voice in City Council. I'm a graduate from Columbia University. I studied PhD there, but I find my education. I find my education will be extremely helpful for me to actually introduce bills. I am very good at writing bills, research bills, and write bills. You do not want to only elect an advocate who are very happy to shop with you on the street. You want to elect someone who can actually make a difference for you in your lives. You're supposed to live a happy and peaceful life at home and spend your time with your family and your children, not going out to protest in the streets. So who is going to do the real job is someone who can actually write the bills and get them passed in city council or in the state level. Am I right? So want to have someone that can actually write the bills for you, right? So I hope I'm the candidate you find. I have the skills, I have the heart, and I have success stories that track record of success that were. And I hope you encourage people to vote for me and also help to donate to my campaign. And I already received matching fund, and I have a small fundraiser next Thursday. You are all welcome. A special rate for Brooklyn and Bronx Republicans and Conservatives. 175. You can get 2 tickets with all you can eat hot pot and wine. And if you don't eat, you don't drink, then it's only $60. And it's a Chinese hot pot. I think you may enjoy the experience. And if you feel that may be too expensive, I welcome you to donate $10. And the first people that donate $10, I bring 3 gold pens as a gift for you. Thank you so much. God bless you.
Now, just a reminder that when they come up and down, the applause is a little loud. I'm going to ask you the 4 speakers to come up, and the 5th one, Chris, as well. Elijah, James, up there ready. We take a photo. We take a the front. Oh, Jason. Jason? Oh, we'll get it.
Since no one's doing that, sorry. Actually. Okay. This good job. And step forward. Step forward.
Jason, you're in the picture.
Yeah. Now you're adding another person. Make it work.
Sorry. Jason. Every time.
Okay. No, you're.
We got still got a few more candidates in the room. Get them.
Yeah, we're gonna get them to. So 1, 2. This is so hard. Looking up above, don't look at me. Yeah, look good in the live stream too. All right. Oh, sure.
Just real quick, I want to let everybody know, once a month, be on the lookout on the page on Instagram, which James_W Ward, or Gonzalo's page. We do a once a month men's mental health, open door. Normally me, Tyreek and Gonzalo host them. Right next door, right down the street. Doors are always open for you to come in. Mental health, we sit down, we talk about it, and we're just here to hold each other up. So, once a month.
Oh, right there. Perfect. All right, 1, 2, and 3. Take a look at that. Tell me if you like it.
Thank you so much.
Make you guys look like superstars. Wait for Hollywood. Ready for Hollywood.
Our next speaker is Chief of Policy, the candidate for comptroller. He has a Republican and a conservative line. I met Peter a while ago, so transitioning from friend to now candidate and working with him in the community has been a pleasure. I'm honored and happy to say that this is going to be the first time since we all went for our candidacy that me, Peter, and Curtis are all together today. So with that being said, Peter Paul, everyone.
Hey guys, thanks for having me tonight. So I am the candidate for the Conservative Party and the Republican Party for New York City Controller. However, I am in a rarity where I want to a primary coming up. So I will be first and foremost asking everybody, please get up and vote for me next month in the primary. Bring a couple of people with you, friends, relatives, co-workers, etc. But just a couple nights ago at the Dominican Club here in Washington Heights, and got a good reception over there. I think a lot of people throughout Bronx, born and raised in Queens, I go out all the boroughs I can. I try to make all the events. Wish there were more events, to be honest with you. We try to get out as much as we can. Sometimes create some of our own events, but we have our city back from socialists, the anarchists, the communists, the Marxists, the Democrats. If we don't take our city back, we don't take advantage of probably a once in a lifetime gift that we've been given by the last Trump win with the red wave. This is probably something we're going to see once in a generation, once in a lifetime. We all collectively have to unite, have to take advantage of this. We can't get complacent and sleep on it and say, well, the Democrats have destroyed our city. They have destroyed everything. Sure enough, everybody will come out and vote for us. We can't be complacent and think that. We have to keep pushing the narrative. They own this mess that they've done to the city, and there's no way around it. And the only ones who can keep the city is our team. You have to look at it like that. There's no other way to do it. So I would say this, we have a lot of really good people here across the boroughs. I've been fortunate enough to stomp with a lot of them, meet a lot of them, including a lot of the folks who are here today. So let's keep that in mind. Let's support, our candidates on our side as much as we can, whether it's coming to events, donating, volunteering, whatever it is that you guys can do out there. And remember, go out and vote with you. Don't just show up with your wife, your husband, somebody. Bring as many people as you can. Let's not get complacent. Let's not think that because the Democrats destroyed the city, that everybody's going to come out in droves and support them. Because it might not be the case. So look, one thing that I can't do, I can't legislate. I would leave that to the city council, but I'm more than willing to work with the folks on both sides of the aisle and the council to do common sense. It sounds very cliche that we would say common sense. We're not going to import criminals. We're not going to defund the police. We're not going to put our own citizens last. But sadly, it is common sense these days. So we heard somebody before speaking about the night situation and how that stuff. So we were here recently at my friend Tyreek's place, and we did a piece on our media channel. And it's one of the reasons that I got involved. I was sick and tired of being sick and tired of watching news and complaining and moaning to my family, to my friends, to my neighbors, coworkers. I'm gonna just look in the mirror one day and say I'm gonna do something. So about a year started over a year ago, being a community organizer in Regal Park, Queens, fighting shelters that were forced upon us by dictator Adams. Now, unfortunately, we lost the fight, but we pushed on, we fought as much as we could. And then I decided to jump into the race controller because where are we spending the money on and who are we spending it on? We're not spending it on nature. I was there myself a few weeks ago, and we're not spending it on kids, veterans, in the subways and streets. If you go on the subway system, you can bet 100% of the freight and the homeless, they're American people. Because we know the ones we've imported, the illegal aliens, they're at the Roosevelt Hotel and other nice accommodations. So, like I said, the role of the controller's office is a fiscal watchdog. Now, I can't legislate, but I can audit, and I show the taxpayers how much was being spent on what, and why. And I think when we do find out the real black numbers, everyone's going to have to jaw hit the floor because I know we're being gaslit, and the amount of money we're being told we're spending on this or that or whatever, we know it's going to be dramatically
a lot, to say the least. So we defund the police. How'd that work out? Pretty stupid. Uh, we have a mass transportation system that is not only, it doesn't run correctly, but it's managed poorly with money is one thing, but then you can risk your life every day taking it just to go even one stop. So we've got to make sure that when our women go outside, when our kids go outside, when our seniors go outside, that they're not going to get raped, murdered, killed, kidnapped, and assaulted and robbed. And gotta sure that we fund the police, hire some more cops, because if we don't have law and order in this city, there's not going to be what's left. There just won't be anything left. So, a lot of things that need to be changed in the city, but what I'm going to work on as controller is the fiscal part of it. And we have to watch where the money's going, who it's going for, these pet projects, these port projects that these crazy socialist, Marxist communists do. When I get elected day one, that's over. We put the kibosh on it. No more spending money on those nonsense, all this garbage, and I will block humanly possible. I'm allowed to block. Where no, we're not going to spend money on illegal aliens kids to get them language tutors. We got kids here in the South Bronx who have the highest asthma rate in the country. We got plenty of kids throughout the boroughs that we go around here. Someone's kid can't get this service, or someone's kid can't get this service. Including my own daughter 2 years ago, she entered the public school system. She waited a whole semester almost to get services while we're watching, roll out the red carpet for people who aren't here legally to teach their kids everything, give them health care, shelter, etc. And our kids who need things are poor, are elderly, are veterans. They're the bottom of the barrel all the time. So that's got to stop. We've got to prioritize what is important to us, who and what we spend the money on. And we've got to do things that are going to be transparent. So what I'd like to do, I want to start doing town hall type events like this throughout the boroughs on somewhat of a regular quarterly a year. So people have questions like regular citizens like you guys, you can ask, open up the books, numbers don't lie. We're not going to fudge them. We're not going to gaslight people and say this, this, this. We're not going to cry poverty. But we have all this funds that can pay for illegal all this other nonsense, pay for people who aren't here illegally, who don't deserve the funds that we've all paid into. Like the gentleman said, a 75-year-old mother, she paid into the system. She needs to be taken care of first, not people who are subsidizing. And we definitely not under the new watch company, which is going to be the red wave, the folks here and others who aren't here. We're definitely not going to put illegal criminal aliens ahead of American people, and we're damn sure not going to subsidize. That's not going to happen anymore. Those hotels want to exist, they're going to exist for tourists, not for international crime gangs that are coming here to pillage us and wreak havoc every day. And we're going to get rid of congestion pricing. We're going to fix the mass transit system, whether you ride the bus, you ride the railroad, you ride the train. We're going to fix it, make it work for the people, make it affordable. And we've got to get out of this mentality where it's just bang us over the head just in pricing for this tax, for this, for this, for this. Got to start being smart because soon, if we keep operating the way we're operating and the socialist, Marxist, communist, and anarchists keep controlling the city with an iron fist, you're going to have two people left here: the very, very poor and very, very rich. And we used to live in the greatest city in the world. And I'm born and raised in Regal Park, almost 50 years, my whole life. I've been living there. I say it sadly, but unfortunately, the truth hurts sometimes. We are no longer the greatest city in the world. We live in a third world hellhole. Some places are worse than others. But we've got to be thankful. And we live in a society that puts uh, our own criminals and imported criminals ahead of our own seniors, our own children, our own veterans, our own people. That's going to stop day one. So I'd like to just say, we'll take up too much time, but if you can help any of the candidates out here, donate, including myself. If you can volunteer, make phone calls, show up to events like this, that's great. It all helps out. I can't do it alone. The other candidates can't do it alone, but unified, we can do it together, and we can finally turn the page in this book where we go from the rotten apple back to the big apple. Appreciate you guys. Thank you very much.
So I didn't want to make a secret of what I said, but I wanted to figure out if the dispensing of the money goes as well with the compost. And if it does, then you want to be close to be, friend. Wait, Thank you for that. So our next speaker once again, it's another local hero. Um, he came by a couple weeks ago and he listened to one of our forums. We brought him into the office, and next thing we know, Wilfredo said, "You know what? I'm interested in joining the Conservative Party." And then within a couple of days after that, he said, "You know what? I want to run for office." Those are two accomplishments that a lot of people take time, a very long time to decide whether they're going to do it or not. It's a big endeavor. And I'm proud to say that, I've been helping canvassing, helping him get his profile a little higher. And, we'll be submitting his paperwork to hopefully get him on the ballot. So let's see if we can figure out a call for Roberto. And he's running for city council. Little louder, guys, little louder.
Good evening, everybody. I'm right over as well. Born and raised in the Bronx. I start off by thanking Gonzalo for Tyreek. Met Tyreek. I was doing a community give back in the Bronx for two all nonprofit organizations. And Tyreek came out, showed support, forced stuff out. Was pretty much telling me that just because of where we come from or who we are, for me that we can run for our city or for our borough, for our district. So I went to, like you said, I went to the forum, I listened to what they had to say. Pretty much aligned with what I was already, what I was already doing, which was taking care of my community. I would like to bring back where communities where we work together as a village. Who up community was a village. The older people didn't allow the younger people to do certain things in the community that just wasn't right. Whether they was outside doing things they wasn't supposed to be doing, they didn't allow the young people. Nowadays it's none of that. Now communities, no older people watching over the youngins, because our generation of parenting is more friendly than parenting. Programs, there's not much programs for the youth in my neighborhood or our neighborhoods where I visit. Kids out of these programs end up where they're being influenced at most, which is the street. Been working closely with two nonprofit organizations trying to bring back programs such as photography, videography, arts and crafts, fatherhood programs. You know what I'm saying? I am a father of 7 myself. My 2 oldest kids are in college. My son just finished his 2nd semester of college. Look at me at first they see young, 40 years old. I'm still young. If you ask my kids, I'm old school, I'm old youth. But I surround myself with a lot of youth kids, keep myself young, also to let them know that I've been where they at. And this time, juvenile prison, came home and kids changed my life. This program after program, but like I said, you age out. You know what I'm saying? And I would like to implement programs where you don't age out, where you go from being a member of this program to being an employee of this program. Also, yeah, I do want to win City Council District 18. Even if I don't win, I'm still going to be on their body. I'm still going to continue to do what I do. Let my community know that, all right, they know who I am. I know who they are now. Now I know who to go to about the funding that, like you say, the funding, on where the funding is going. I've been doing community work for my own pocket money the last 6 years. I went to Assembly Bank. I went to to Norville. I'm doing events in communities where I live at. I went to them and they said, yeah, we got one going on too. Well, let us know so we could participate. What is up here? I said, okay, we are William and Washington doing an event in Singapore. How are these residents supposed to get up there to receive the benefits of this community, this district? You know what I'm saying? I plan on working closely with my community, closely with the NYPD as far as like community involvement, the way they interact with us. A lot of times when police pull up to the communities, a lot of community residents feel threatened and shoot their thing. We should feel like, all right, we stay. But it doesn't feel that. And now you got pretty much police on every corner, but it's not for safety as far as like residents go, myself go. Either in the store keeping warm or trying to holler at somebody going by. It's just not a lot of community and police interaction positive. Wouldn't think that. I don't really know much. Not ready to speak about. I just want to know, let the people know that I'm for my community. I've always been for my community. I will always will be. My kids live in the community. It is not my district. All type. Like I said, I got 7 kids, and they all live in the Bronx, different districts. So every district is my district. The whole Bronx. That being said, I want to thank y'all for letting me speak. I am the prayer of the world. I'm the City Council District 18.
Once again, being very humble. I've seen him speak at many events. There's a difference between talking as a CEO, there's a difference to talking about as an activist. When you start talking as a politician, the lights are there, the cameras are there, and everybody's watching you, and you have to answer like that in a minute, every question, and the problems of the world, and you have to solve it. It's hard, right? So, once again, give him a round of applause. Look, the next person is not a shy person. The next person is not going to be off coy. He's going to be, he's probably going to go over and I'm going to have to be like, yo, relax. But look, when you hear him speak, you understand why he's up here. You understand why he's running. You understand that things that he's doing, he's not talking about it later. He's doing it right now. And he already knows what I'm talking about. So Tyreek Goodman, come up here.
Hey, how's everybody doing? How's everybody? You think as much as I do this, I won't get nervous, but I still get nervous every time I come up here. Guys. So my name is Tyreek Goodman. This year I went for City Council District 8. And my slogan is be the change you wish to see. And a lot of my peers that came up here, they're not just talking the talk, they're actually walking. They're actually being examples and they're actually coming out and they're setting that example for their peers, but also giving information. And that's what it's all about. It's about inspiring the next person next to you and letting them know, hey, you can get on this ballot. You can run for office and you can actually become a pillar in your community. But in order to do that, you also must take the lead. We live in an age now where a lot of people complain. We hear a lot of complaints on all sides. We hear a lot of political talk on all sides, but nobody really has a plan. Nobody really has a plan of action. Nobody really goes out there to address these issues. A lot of the problems that come from where we come from in our community can be easily addressed just with as simple as fixing the door, as simple as just a conversation and checking up on your everyday tenants. We live in a situation where people are living in these nicer projects and they're living with asbestos, bad water, mold. And you would think that after one situation, they will audit and they will have at least a housing person go to every other housing unit and just fix it. No, they're not going to fix it. Why? Because they're going to wait till the next political election and they're going to tell you that it's the next person's problem and why you should vote for them to get it done. But in the day and age, when people rather sell hope can actually solve these issues. So for me, it wasn't about playing politics. I don't play the political games. I'm about making action and about getting things done. So when I met a guy like Elijah Diaz, who's into his market magnet, when I met a Wilfredo, when I met a Ray, I met my guy Manuel and James and so many others. One thing that these people got going on is that they have their business. They have something in connection that the kids and the youth are going to look to them and say, well, outside of just the political, outside of you just selling me hope, I actually see how you're making a living and setting an example for your family. So that's why I want to follow. And that's where being a conservative and being a Republican is about. Taking care of your own. You don't need to rely on the government help. Because where I come from in our community, it never works for us anyway. So what we try to do is teach our own how to sustain themselves. So how do we teach our kids and our youth how to sustain themselves? Well, first you got to give them options and you got to give them opportunity to get status. Because everything about the young people is about status and the status quo. So in order for them to get that status, you got to teach them. At 16, you can become a part of the community board, no matter what your criminal record is. At 16, you can become a part of the community board, no matter what your criminal record is. At 18, you can run for local government, no matter what your criminal record is. But yet still, if you go to apply for a job, your criminal record lets you know, makes you ineligible, right? Well, these are things that we need to fight. See, if people in my community, we've been fighting the fight for so long that we don't even understand that the representation doesn't always come with color. So now when we look at a president and we say, well, he's been convicted and things like that, oh, well, we shouldn't be voting for him or backing him. But then I say this, how many of our people have been arrested and in our communities come back home from their communities and really open the doors for people, regular day people like you? People look at me all the time and they say, why are you not a Democrat? I got a strong Democrat in, a strong. And they say, why are you not Democrat? And I say this, and not even look at my family members. You didn't give me the opportunity to walk in the door, walk in your shoes. I found my own way. What you need to be worried about is how did they come and get a young boy like me that comes from the top? A guy with a high school diploma, a guy that's going to fight everybody else. That's the point. So understand this. Understand this for each and every candidate that's here. Y'all are fighting a good fight. But one of the things that we must do is meet people exactly where they're at. The people know what's going on and know how to take care of their community. Each district might all face the same thing, but everybody knows how to take care of exactly what's going on in their community. All thing you got to do is just listen. Listen, tap into what they're going on, and then invite them in. And what I mean, listen, we got to also blame unity. A lot of these kids are shooting each other, they're killing each other. And to be honest with you, it's always going to be like this. The community boards don't work together. If our political leaders don't work together, if we don't hold our OGs accountable and tell them, hold on, who played this game? Who in charge of it? Make sure that you keep them aligned because then we got to come and check you. There's no easy way out with this. Everywhere else, we act like we don't understand how the world works. But people in the projects, we understand and we see that thing, we see it very clear of how it works. So we're not with the sugarcoat. But we're holding our people accountable and also moving forward. And with that being said, my name is Tyreek Goodman. My slogan is be the change you wish to see, the fight bust against. Love y'all.
Wasn't that great? So glad I didn't have to stop him, though. So our next speaker, he shares the District 79 position with me for this area. And I've been glad to be working with him for the last 2 years, different projects that we talked about. And today he's going to be speaking, I believe it's his first public forum for candidacy this year, right? So I'm very happy to say that. Our next speaker is Emmanuel Tony Jr., running for City Council.
Good evening, everybody. Thanks for being here tonight. My name is Daniel Finley, and I'm running for council 16th. I'm on the 16th Council District in the Bronx. And I'm going to try to keep this as short as I can. You guys hear me well? All right. So one of the main focus running for city council is that we know that our youth have been dropping out of school. We know that a lot of our young men are not going to college. And those who do go to college right now, it hasn't been fruitful. So one of the things you look out there and give people the power to pitch for themselves will be trades. Now I'm really strong on providing the trades for our youth. And we need to start early. And we need to start it early. Can't wait till after they get out of high school to start teaching them that, because a lot of these trades are things they can learn while they're in high school. Start doing shadow programs where they start learning about this in middle school. And then when they get to high school, they get hands-on. Want to bring that back. Took away shop, took away woodcraft. These are things that were helpful. We took away home economics. For things that would help, that taught you how to preserve your money, how to make a dollar stretch, how to go to the store, how to purchase the products that you need to take care of yourself, whether it's food, how to get a needle on bread and put a button back on your pants. How you know that, listen, you don't always have to buy new shoes. You can go to the cobbler and get the stores redone. That's all things you learn in home economics that we no longer teach. So one thing I want us to bring back and focus on, because that would then strengthen the community. Because now we know that each youth in our community that's growing up is growing up with skills, whether to go to different areas, different environments. They can stay in the community, they can lead the community, but we know that we send them out into the world. We send them out prepared to take on whatever challenges come to them. That no matter how bad it gets, they have a trade, a skill that they can trade to live, they can use to survive. So that's one of my main focuses that I'm looking at. Now, the second thing I also want to look at is the housing, how housing is going down, as Tyreek spoke about earlier. When you go into housing, you would notice that a lot of people are sitting outside. And a lot of times it's not because yes, people are hanging outside, but you also have times people are sitting outside because they can't get into the building. And the reason they can't get into the building is because the buildings don't have keys that work. The door's not from the inside, but you can't get in. So you have to wait for somebody else that's in the building to come out for you to be able to get in the building. That's not right. Those buildings are supposed to, the taxpayers are paying for it, you're supposed to maintain those buildings and make sure to have at the very least. Now, when you go into the building, it gets even worse. Things of chipping, because they have asbestos, or there's mold in there. The radiator comes on and it's leaking the entire living room. You put in a ticket and in 2 years to even take a look at it. When they send somebody over, the person says, "Oh, tell us if it happens again," and walks out. Then NYCHA sends you a bill saying, "Oh, you haven't paid." Like that's because you haven't done the work. There's work still there you haven't done. The ceiling is leaking, and you have to go to Home Depot and come back yourself and fix the ceiling for you. So your ceiling is falling, your ceiling is falling in. You got to do that. We cannot have this continue. We have to hold them accountable for this. And the city council has enough weight to throw around to put the pressure on NYCHA to make them do the right thing. The third thing I'm looking at is law and order. We've seen what's happened in the past 4 years. Criminals go in, commit crimes, and time the cop is finished, we're filling out the ticket, the desk ticket, whatever he's doing. Criminals gone. I have an officer off the street because now they're in there doing 2 hours worth of paperwork for a 30-second stop. That is not right. You cannot triple our law enforcement officers and expect them to do an amazing job and come to work every day. Beautiful cherry, bushy-tailed, bright-eyed attitude. It's not possible. They're human beings. If you've ever interacted with people in a public-facing manner, if you've been in the service industry, you know people can get really irritated. I imagine you're an officer who is held to a high standard with the power of life and death in your hand, and now you're still human. We have to account for that also. I'm not saying what officers that go off that fly off the pigeons are correct. No, we don't want any of that either. We also have to give them the proper support and the backing to know that when they do their job, we're there to enforce it. Our lawmakers are not doing that right now. City council not putting enough pressure on them. We need to make sure that our officers feel like they have the backing, but also know that they will be held to high standards. And that the people also know that the officers are there for your protection and your safety to serve and protect. Because that's what they're supposed to be. If you're not doing that, why are we giving your gun and a badge? We're not taking this anymore. We've had enough of it. And it's time that we continue. And we've seen it happen in the Bronx. Nobody would have told you years ago that the Bronx will elect a Republican. And well, here we are. Nobody years ago, if you told me a Republican will come to the Bronx for a rally like the President of Trump, but it happened. And that's showing you that the people of the Bronx are waking up. We've had enough. Again, my name is Emmanuel Findlay. I am the conservative and the Republican candidate for the 16th Council District. Remember to go out and vote. Thank you for your time. Thank you for showing up.
I always thank God that I never go right after him. And the thing that we always do it together at the same time. Makes me look a lot better on top of that. So, hopefully the next coming year, we'll be doing a lot more work as the district leaders if we're both running for the position as well again. Our next speaker, she has been working with the Conservative Party for the last 2 years. You're tag teaming with a lot of the projects that Tyreek Goodman has done well. And I'm very glad to say that I was able to update her registration mid last year for conservative. And now this year she's running for district leader. Hopefully she'll be running for a high position in the future. Here at Bronx.
Good evening, everybody. Right? Loud? Okay, good. We don't need no money. I can talk. Yes. Good evening, everybody. I'm Serene Ballot. I hope everybody's having a beautiful day. I just gotta say, to be honest, like standing up here, like it's like a whoa, wow. To be like, you don't see a lot of young people, standing in a room, like this. Especially anything having to do with your community, with politics. It's not a known thing. So, me standing here today, it says a lot, and it's gonna mean a lot, and it's gonna do a lot. The goal is that we are gonna get all of our young folks to step into the same rooms as well. Okay. When I say tired, I'm tired of the guns. I'm tired of the disrespect. I'm just tired of everything that's been going on out in our community, and I just want better. I'm tired of seeing about our kids. They not even, it was one thing not making it past 21, but now we're not even making it to 18. What are we doing with ourselves? I created my own, my own channel, my own platform, something for the youth to come out and, to be able to go and do music videos, host events, host shows, like just do things to show, those that are my age that we can do something, we can have something, we can be somebody, and we're gonna be somebody. Working with Tyreek and being with Tyreek, like it's been nothing but achievements. It's been nothing but happiness. I wouldn't even be in this room if it wasn't for him. I had no clue of nothing of politics. I had no care for it. And he showed me different. He opened my eyes. He showed me the meaning of what it is that you need to go out and fight for your people. You need to go out and make a change. You need to do better. You need to be better. And that's what we're going to do. Like you said, be the change you wish to see, right? So we're going to be the change that we wish to see. Meaning that we're going to go out and make these changes, and we're going to see these changes. Okay? It's going to start by one thing that we need to do better. We got to be able to bring the youth, and we have to be able to bring our older people together. We have to work together. That's why I'm here. Because I'm going to work with you. You're going to work with me. We're going to work together. We're going to really show something. Because we are something. And it's no better feeling than this. Like, I know people, they look at me when they see when I post political stuff, and they be like, what is this girl posting about? What is she doing? And then when I go talk to them in person, it's a whole nother conversation. They're like, yeah. Oh, it's just yeah. So come out and be like, yeah. And let me see what you're gonna do now. Because if I'm doing it, you can do it. Okay? That's all I gotta say. I'm Serene Ballot. It's crazy to say. I'm running. I'm running. You want me to stand right here, guys?
So as you can see, Tyreek is a district leader. So his job is to bring others into. A lot of people are get scared with competition, but guess what? Bringing in a leader to be a district leader, and now we keep on growing. That's the way you have to deal with it. That being said, this is the second phase, so I'm gonna ask the speakers to come up. We can take a photo with Tyreek, Peter, Emmanuel, Wilfred.
Oh my God, you're driving me nuts. All right. Okay. Nope. Yeah, I'm trying to be bad for that. So, what? Get there. One. Every two. Right. Every two. And I think that's it. Anyway, yeah. So, of course, I'm not telling you when I'm actually taking photos. Now, I want you to look right there. And do a favor, just send that in. You, sweetheart, are beautiful. There you go. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Take care.
Hey.
So this particular year has been a little bit different. Since I've been running for public advocate, my goal has been to reach the other boroughs. But I'm excited that this year I bumped into someone so regularly that I asked them if they would be willing to speak from Westchester. So to this year, on the third year, we have somebody from Westchester. Michael Padilla is running for legislator in Westchester County. Nice big round of applause.
Hi, good afternoon. Hello? Good afternoon. First off, I want to thank Gonzalo, Chris, and everyone for the opportunity to speak and the continued support here. My name is Michael Padilla, Westchester County Legislative District 14. I'm a first-generation Hispanic who actually learned English in school. Shy young man who never really thought I'd be in front of an audience like this speaking. I'm running on the Republican line for Yonkers and Mount to represent the beautiful cities of Yonkers and Mount Vernon. But more importantly, I'm running. I would love to have worked with the Conservative Party. Unfortunately, I was unable to make that connection in time. So it's something that I'm working towards the future in support, since I feel a lot of my views represent what the party does. While Westchester seems far, my district actually borders the Woodlawn section of the Bronx. And I actually work about 3 miles from here. I'm a proud firefighter for FDNY. Now, what I've noticed is that what's happening in Yonkers and Westchester is the same that's happening here and in all the boroughs in New York City. We're facing the same issue. We have lithium-ion battery plants being placed in our residential neighborhoods. We have overdevelopment. We have the pushing out of a lifelong resident, renters and homeowners, due to city-sponsored and supported gentrification. We have government corruption, massive skyscrapers, and developers stealing our city. Yes. Now, I'm a victim of corruption from a failed government system.
Over in Yonkers, I am fighting against the removal of term limits, creating dictators running my city. They're running it as a personal business, making money and lining their pockets. I'm fighting multi-millionaire casinos purchasing my community piece by piece by appealing to different groups. The only casino in a residential area. My opponent has been unopposed for 3 times. First a Republican, then a Democrat, while his father holds a prominent role in the Republican Party, essentially controlling both parties. I want to give my community a choice and a voice. For the first time in 3 terms, they're going to have an option. Face lawsuit. I fought against not only the Democrats, but unfortunately, my own party, to compromise members in the local government of the Republican Party. Local government corruption. That's the main problem in my area. And while my team is small and inexperienced, but they're dedicated and they've pushed us through. That includes my mother, my longtime girlfriend, Nicole, my friend Evie over here that came to support me, and so many others. And I would like to thank all of them. My slogan is Michael Pineda for you. It's not for me, it's for you. I would like to see more representation, more transparency, and more of the actual people that live in my community, that care about my community, making the decisions, and not the people trying to make money off my community or money off my people while they live in other areas. And they come here and they drive upstate to their big estate. I'd like to see change. Thank you. My name is Michael.
I'm glad Michael took the opportunity to tell you his background. I wanted to make sure that he said that. So you can imagine working a full-time job and a job that he's working while doing this at the same time. And then on top of that, on everything else he's doing, he's fighting corruption. And then, come on, how hard. So I'm honored to introduce our next speaker. If you are part of the political circle, nonprofit world, you'll see this next speaker popping up, popping out. The first activity that I worked with them was Christmas event. One of my constituents, Jason and Veronica, brought him to participate, and I was dressed up as Santa, and it was winter, and the door wouldn't stay open, and I was afraid somebody would take the chairs or anything and put the profit up. So I go outside and I go, "Hey Gary, can you do me a favor? Would you mind taking turns holding the door back and forth so people know that we're here and open?" And he was like, "Yeah, sure, no problem." Then I had to go periodically, and I was like, he hasn't come back up. I'm looking at him, he's freezing. He's freezing out there. Like icicles are coming out his nose and I'm like, "Okay, Gary, how about you come back in and we switch up?" I bring that up in a story like that because that's what you'll get 24/7. He goes out there for the party, getting signatures from every location you can imagine. He's putting out the work when it comes to helping out community members. So look at her. So although you may not see him speaking at the podiums all the time or pushing out so much agendas, I can assure you he has his hands on many things from the nonprofit world, pushing out our word in the social media groups, and also running for office this year, not only as a district leader, but also as a city council for his first time legislative candidate. So let's give a big round of applause to Gary Lutz, running for city council.
Good evening, all. Gary Lutz, I'm running for Bronx Assembly District again in the 85th. I stand for you because I believe in the potential of our community and the stages of voices. Like so many, I hate politicians. I hate hear about the Virginia Independent Party, but that's the crap that run conservative party for 3 years now. Gonzalo told me a lot, told me things I wouldn't think I'd ever be. I'm starting to like politicians like him, Jason, Grace, Tyreek. They're the ones that deserve the biggest chance of them all. They deserve a chance at something. The other one's been found left and right. Lived in the Bronx my whole life, from 51. You know, I lost my mom 3 years ago. That's when I met Gonzalo. After my mom passed from dementia, kidney failure, lack of support she got from family, from the government. You know, I hope I'm making her proud. I'm trying to take a chance at something I'm learning about slowly but surely. Improvement for our kids, for our colleges, job opportunities at fair wages. You know, just like working, I graduated of Bronx Community and Legal College. You know, but, you know, I really want to see improvements in the Bronx instead of being a dumping ground. They just leave it over elsewhere. It's forgotten for the. I mean, I want fair wages. I mean, inflation, everything goes up, up, up. I'm getting by. You know, I hope to be a assembly district leader. I'll listen to all your voices. You have like opportunities, like charities is something I go to. I always donate to the Conservative Party every month. I'll be donating to James there. I just want to speak from my heart. Thank you all very much.
There's, I know it may seem simplistic, but I think the best thing that we can do is speak from the heart. Because if you're reading from a speech or you're pretending that you don't really want or wanting something just to get to the position, that's one of the things that we have. Our next speaker, I've been working with her for the last 2 years in doing charity work across the borough. And not only has she been pushing me so much in her community, but at the same time, her community is pushing her to run for office. Every time she would introduce me, the next question would be, why aren't you running for office? So this year, Denise Smith, she's running for City Council District 11. So let's give her a big round of applause.
Hi. Okay. Hello, my name is Denise Smith. I'm finding no breath. I don't like breath, so I'm sorry, I don't have a breath. Anyway, I like the fact that we can be real and be with yourself. We're in a season where if you're fake and you're not who you say you are, you're going to get exposed. That's not coming from the church. I'm a bishop also. That's coming from just the way the universe is throwing it out. So if you're fake and you're pretending to be somebody that you're not, you're going to get exposed in this season. Hello, my name is Denise Smith. I'm running for City Council, District 11. Lived in the Bronx for over 30 years. I've been active for. I'm originally from Long Island, but I've been here for 30 years. I've raised my children here. I was active with the PTA at school MS280 for many, many years. With the treasurer, I worked at North Central Bronx Hospital for 17 years with the vice president of the hospital, running six-figure fundraisers and raising money for mechanical parts and medicine and things that's needed. Amen. So, okay, my first thing I want to look at is safety. It's important to have safety. I know it sounds cliche, everybody's saying it, but it's true. We need to bring back safety in our community. There was a time when people used to band together, and for a fact, guardian angels, I always thought what he did is excellent. But there are other groups that have followed this pattern and also come together and walk the streets at night. It makes a man's presence makes a difference. So that's what I would like to implement as well. I'm trying to do this not fast, but don't want to be too long. Education, I have a pet peeve about it because we're destroying our children as a people. And I said before, and somebody said it today, and I'm glad we need to implement the skills. We need to put a set of skill sets back in the community. When I was growing up, we had economics. Children don't know how to cook, they don't know how to clean, they don't know how to budget bills. I mean, yes, as a parent, you should do it, but I think it's important that it's back in the schools. I want to take the Board of Education out of their hands, so to speak, delicately, the Board of Education, and implement what the parents have to say. If I was to think that they're the parents of the children, I think the parents should be implemented, and we should take a look at what the parents say and move forward and take it into consideration and implement that back into the schools. It can be done. Okay, number 3 is housing. They call it affordable housing, but guess what? Newsflash, it's not affordable. Who is that making sense to? It's time for the games to stop. So I would love to take a stab at the housing. I know that's gonna come with a lot, but there was a time we used to have stable housing for people. Why are you paying rent and you have mold? Why are you paying rent and you have rats in the wall? So something needs to be done. Why are you running the elderly and disabled out of their apartments because you want to put up a $4,000 or $5,000 a month apartment? It's disgusting. Where are the people supposed to go? It's unfair. Everybody's not going to make 6 figures, and everybody's not going to be a millionaire. So because of that, and because a person raised their family and was a homemaker, they don't deserve to have a place to stay or have affordable housing. They can make it. So those are the 3 things that I would like to look at. It's important that we work together. I believe in communication. I believe in rolling up your sleeves. You can talk the talk, but you got to walk the walk as well. And I'm willing to roll up my sleeves and do the work with you if you would like me to be involved with you. I want to work with you. If you want to work with me, I make myself available to make the change. We want better. I do outreach in the community at Polk Park for the last 9 years. I do it out of pocket. People that know me from Montefiore Hospital and North Central Hospital and some other companies, they give new clothes and new shoes, and we go out to Polk Park. Anyone is welcome to come this year. It's going to be October the 4th. I don't know if I'm going to put that plug in while I'm up here. Okay. Anyone is welcome to come. We have a great time. It's 4 hours that goes by quick because we're serving and we're giving back to the community. They look for us to come. That's amazing. They like it. They look for us to come. So it's great. Communication again is important. And my name is Denise Smith, and I'm for the Bronx, the whole borough of the Bronx, but I'm running for District 11. And my slogan is, I am the change, and I want to be the change. Thank you so much.
Denise, tomorrow you're being elevated to Grand Bishop or
Chief Apostle.
Chief Apostle. So our next speaker, it has a range of knowledge. Not only does she have educational background, she has a community boards association. Basically, the knowledge that we need at our level as candidates. So I would recommend that if you have that opportunity to reach out to her after we speak today, because we need that information. Not only that, but you see her running around all over the borough reporting information that's not being done publicly to the community. Things that they don't want us to know about, meetings that they don't want us to hear. She's the one pushing it out there so that we know about it, so that we can see it, listen to it, take the data information, and work with it. So our next speaker is once again another borough hero, Grace Merrill. She's running for president with the Conservative Republican.
Hey, can you hear me? So, if you're not at the table, you're on the menu. You know what that means? Did you hear what I said? If you're not at the table, you're on the menu. We've been on the menu for far too long. That's my slogan. Because as Bronx Borough President, I will be bringing everyone to the table. No backdoor deals, none of this corruption, none of it. I'm a Bronx resident my whole life. And, before I was in the political arena, I helped other candidates with petitioning and on the Democrat side. I helped them do that. And as I started learning more and more, and I started to see all the nonsense that goes on behind the scenes, my eyes started opening. At one political event is when someone told me, it said, if you're not at the table, then you're on the menu. And that struck me. That struck me as, wow, that is the truth above all truths when it comes to politics. So I decided to get more involved. I learned a lot. Like Gonzalo says, I go to a lot of community meetings. I go to community board meetings. I go to different CBO meetings. Try to make you feel intimidated, but you have to stand strong and do it. So I started going to community board meetings and I started doing that. I got the same thing. Oh, she can't record, she can't do this or that. But I held my ground. I refused to leave. I said, no, I have the right to record. So now the community boards, now they do YouTube. Now they record them on YouTube. So it starts with one person. And I don't like to toot my own horn, but just to show that it just takes one person to make a difference. So as Bronx Borough President, I see a lot of things that are going on in the Bronx. I'm originally from the South Bronx, down at 163rd between Kelly and Fox. That was where I grew up. So I always go back. I'm a Bronx girl, a ghetto girl. I can be ghetto if I need to, but anyway, you can take the anyway. So I see everything that goes around in the Bronx, especially when we do petitioning. We go to different parts of the Bronx, especially as a Bronx Borough president candidate, and I see all the district. Basically, most of the politicians are in the pocket of the developers. Why they passed the city of Yes. Everybody knows about the city of Yes? That's gonna kill this city. Gonna kill neighborhoods. Anything that's low density, it's the thing with the lithium batteries that they're putting in residential areas. Can't say no. It's just outrageous what they're doing. They're driving the people out, they're giving people out from Brooklyn to Harlem, from Harlem to the Bronx, from the Bronx to Westchester. Everybody's getting pushed up. And what's past Westchester? Rockland. Oh, we don't want to go to Rockland. But this is what they're doing. Like someone said earlier, it's either going to be poor or very rich. We can't do that. This is our neighborhood, our community. And so we need to fight